Glimpses of the past. Good morning, students. Let's start our third lesson, Glimpses of the past. In the first part of the video, we have read 4 pages of this story, and in this story, the writer has told us about the past of India. We came to know that British was expanding its power in India. The story begins with the arrival and expansion of the British East India Company, and in India at that time India was broken into small states ruled by short-sighted princes. Their rivalries helped the British to subdue them. To subdue means to control them. The British were also able to extend their power in India on account of their superior weapons. Thus, we became their slaves. The British rule in India was an oppressive one. Their administrative policies made people poor and unhappy. They imposed heavy taxes on farmers and small industries and destroyed them. Though foreign trade was increasing and Indian farmers, they were becoming poor and very poor. Through foreign trade, they took away a huge sum of money to their country, and British officers, they were also busy in making money. Then we came to know about a social reformer, Raja Ram Mohan Rai. He went to England, he studied about British policies, and he tried to improve condition of Indian society. He started newspaper also, but the doubtful British government, British ruler, they stopped it. They stopped them in 1823. Let's begin with the 5th part of the story. Here, number 5, 5th, oppression. Oppression means exploitation. So from the period 1765 to 1835, there was exploitation of Indians. We can read from the bubble speech, bubble dialogues. It is written here, but the British continued to oppress Indians in 1818 also. They had passed Regulation 3rd. Under it, an Indian could be jailed without trial in a court. In second picture, we can see that these British officers, they are enjoying party, they are enjoying their life, they have many material things. All the time, British officers in India drew big salaries, means they were having big salaries, and also made fortune. Fortune means their future, their luck in private business also, means they were running their private business also, and they were having heavy or big salaries also. You can see in this picture that how British officers, they are enjoying a party, and they are dressed in beautiful clothes. So, but Indians, they were suffering in jails. They were put to jail without any reason, without any trial. So in this way, exploitation, oppression was increasing in India. In the second part, it is shown that by 1829, Britain was exporting British goods worth 7 crore rupees to India. So by the year 1829, Britain was exporting British goods which were produced in Britain, which were produced in England, because there was industrial revolution, and the value of those goods was 7 crore rupees to India. And we can see here Indian business, Indian industry, it began to decline. Governor General Bentinck reported back home that the bones of cotton weavers are bleaching the plains of India. When Governor General Bentinck he gave report in Parliament of Britain, he told that that cotton weavers they are dying in India. Means their business is spoiled. They did not have any business, and we can see in this picture also that people are sitting without any. They did not have any cloth, and they did not have money to buy food. They are suffering from malnutrition also, and you can see here that there is no business. Children are also suffering from malnutrition, and their business is spoiled. Here is the picture of handloom, and they Indian were dying, and that's why Bentinck told in the parliament that bones of cotton weavers are bleaching. Bleaching means clearing or cleaning the plains of India. The British prospered on the company's loot while Indian industries began to die. So due to this, what happened? British prospered. Prospered means British people, they become rich. They become very affluent people because of the company's loot, because of the company's policies, because of the company's heavy taxes, while Indian industries began to die. So this was the condition at that time, and due to that, this is the these were the conditions for beginning of first war of independence. Let's start sixth part of the story, dissatisfaction. Let's see, we have seen there was dissatisfaction in the public, in common people, dissatisfaction from 1835 to 56. Education in India was in Persian and Sanskrit. In 1835, an Englishman named Macaulay suggested a change. So before 1835, education in India was given in Urdu, Persian, and Sanskrit. But in 1835, an Englishman named Macaulay, he suggested a change. We should teach the natives through the English language. Native here means people of, citizen of India. The person who live by birth in a place is called native of that place. So he suggested that we should teach Indians through English language, and the officers, his boss agreed, and English education produced clerks to whom the British gave petty jobs under them. So when English education started in India, many people, they started doing jobs of clerks, and the British people, they gave them very mean jobs. Petty means very odd jobs, very low standard jobs. Incidentally, it also produced a new generation of intellectual. When Indians started learning education, taking education in English, a new generation of intellectuals also came in the society. And intellectual means educated person, and they started discussion with each other. Here we can see that educated Indians are sitting, and one is saying we must educate our brothers, that we must educate or educate our brothers and try to improve their material condition. Here material condition means that they did not have capacity to buy food and other things. So their material condition we should try to improve. For that, we must convey our grievances to the British Parliament. Grievances means complaints. Convey means we must pass, we must send. We must send our complaints to the British Parliament, because Indian government was run through British Parliament. Here, General was there, and let's see what happened then. After that, what happened? in India, in 1856, the British had conquered the whole of India. We can see in this map, earlier most part of the India was covered with Indian states, but here we can see the more area is conquered by British rulers. The pink color, these were the area ruled by British officers or British representatives. They cared little about the needs of Indians. Our kings have become puppets and we have lost our old jobs. So people, common people, they were talking with each other. There were discussions. They were talking that our king have become puppets. Means king are not following they are not taking care of us, and we have lost our old jobs, and they had lost their land also. Farmers, they lost their land, and they are converting our brothers. Converting means they are giving them education in English, and they are going to England also to get education. That means their religion is their religion is changed. You only talk, do something to drive them out. So another person is saying, you only talk, don't only talk. You have to do something to drive them out. Okay. To make them quit India, we must work something, we must do something so that British people, they can quit India. So in this way, people started making planning, and they wanted to get rid of British rule. Let's see what happened then. In 7th part, it is shown the sparks. Spark means small particle of matter that is glowing, just like in the beginning of fire. A small spark can begin a fire. In the same way, this dissatisfaction led to the spark of the first war of independence in 1857. So in 1857 to 55 to 57, what was the condition of India? Taxes continued to ruin the peasants. Due to heavy taxes, the condition of Indian farmers, peasants means farmers, was becoming very worse. In Bengal, the Santhal is the name of a place who had lost their lands under new land rules, became desperate. So in Bengal, in the place, the Santhals is a type, caste of people, is a group of people. They had lost their land, and because of the policies of the British, and they became desperate. They were in depression. In 1855, they rose in rebellion and massacred Europeans and their supporters alike. Massacre means they killed many people at one time, and they killed Europeans, means Britishers, and their supporters also. Massacre means deliberately and brutally kill many people. So in this way, we can see that there was revolt, there was first war of independence, and Indians, they started fighting for their rights. And we can see here also, discontent was brewing in East India Company Army too. Discontentment means dissatisfaction. Indian soldiers in East India Company, they were also dissatisfied. They were also not satisfied. The white soldier get huge pay, mansions to live in servants. The white soldiers, they were getting heavy salary. They would get huge pay, and they have a mansions. Mansions means big house, large impressive house to live in. While the Indians, they did not get much salary. They were getting very small, very inadequate amount of salary, and even they did not get any promotion. One soldier is saying, the Angrez asked us to cross the sea, which is against our religion. Who is the Topiwala to abolish our age-old custom? So one English soldier is talking to other. He's saying that Angrez people, they are telling us to cross the sea and go to England, which is against the religion of Indians. And they were talking to each other that who is this Topiwala, means Englishman, to abolish, to destroy our age-old customs. We must drive out the Angrez. Drive out means we must tell them to quit India. Thousands of other sepoys revolted. Sepoy means soldiers. They were stripped of their uniform. Their jobs were taken, and their dresses were, uniforms were taken from them. And then what happened? Sepoy Mangal Pandey attacked the adjutant of his regiment and was executed. So there was a soldier, Mangal Pandey. He attacked the military officer of his regiment, and after that he was to be hanged. He was put to death. And many Indian soldiers, they were humiliated and they were put in jails. And Englishmen, they were doing exploitation of Indian soldiers. And let's see what happened then. Then few Englishmen had cared to understand Indian customs or the people's mind, but in general, they were creating disturbance in Indian society. Oh, proud Brahmin soldier, do you know that the grease on the bullet you have to bite is made from the fat of cows and pigs? So one Muslim is talking to Hindu soldier. He is telling that these Englishmen, they have put grease on the bullet, and which they have to bite with their mouth, and on those bullets, on those hand grenades, there was fat of cows and pigs. What? The white man has deceived us too. So in this way, white people, they deceived Hindu soldiers also, they deceived Muslims also. They were working on the policy of divide and rule. So soon chapatis were sent from village to village to tell the people that their emperor would want their services. So villagers, they start a movement, and that movement was chapati movement. In this movement, they sent chapatis from village to village to tell people that their emperor would want their services. Means when revolt would be there, they have to give their services. Yes, all my village men will be ready. So the sarpanch of the village, the headman of the village, he is saying that all my men, means all villagers, will help you. Similarly, lotus flowers circulated among Indian soldiers, and even the lotus flowers, those were also circulated among Indian soldiers. They were talking death to the foreigners. We want death of foreigners. We want their exit, quitness from India. The masses gave all help and soldiers to the patriots, and the people, common men, they helped soldiers and patriots in all the way. And in the last eighth, it is shown that revolt started in 1857. Then there was a violent outbreak at Meerut. First of all, the revolt started at Meerut, and we can see in the picture that Indian soldiers, Indian people, they started violent revolt. The sepoys marched to Delhi. Sepoy means soldiers. Soldiers, they moved towards to Delhi. Long live our Emperor Bahadur Shah. And in Delhi, there was rule of last Mughal emperor Bahadur Shah Jafar, and they were fighting under his leadership. And after that, we can see that Indian soldiers, they started revolt in many other parts of India. The rebellion spread wider. So in this way, that it started all part of the India. Many landlords had lost their land because of the British policies, and they were sore. Sore means they were angry. So farmers, they also started taking part in this revolt. The white man's rule must end. They were shouting slogans, the white man's rule must end. Yes, we will help you. Other soldiers, farmers, they were also saying that we will help you. We will help the patriots. So they were saying the white man rule must end. And they were saying that Englishmen quit India. And just like they were saying, Angrejo Bharat Chodo. And in the last slide, we can see the fight for freedom. In 1857, many former rulers like Begum Hazrat Mahal of Lucknow were bitter. They had also bad relation with Englishmen. The white man has taken away my kingdom. So Begum Hazrat Mahal of Lucknow, she was also very angry because white people, because Britishers, they have taken away her kingdom. Popular leader like Maulvi Ahmedullah of Faizabad told the people, rise brother, rise, the Angrez is ruining our land. So all leaders, Hindu, Muslim, they were fighting for the freedom of India. So this is called the first war of independence. And Maulvi, he gave slogan, rise brother, rise, the Angrez is ruining our land. Ruining means destroying our land. Then there was revolt, and Begum also joined the upsurge against the foreigners. Upsurge means the war against the foreigners. A rapid sudden rise in any action. The people rose everywhere. In Bareilly, Kanpur and Allahabad, everywhere there was revolt. Azimullah Khan told Tata Tope, we should have Peshwa Nana Sahib as our leader in this war of independence. So they selected Peshwa Nana Sahib as their leader in that war of independence. 80-year-old Kunwar Singh of Bihar received a bullet in his wrist. Mother Ganga, this is my last offering to you. So there was 80-year-old king of Bihar, Kunwar Singh. He received a bullet in his wrist, but he cut his wrist and offered it to Ganga, and he said that, Mother Ganga, this is my last offering to you. He told his assistant that I am giving my ahuti to Ganga Maya. The patriots pounced upon the British and fought pitched battles all over North India. Patriots, Deshbhakt, they fought bravely, and they fought for many times for a long period all over the North India. And this was about the first war of independence. This lesson is taken from our freedom movement written by S.D. Sawant. So S.D. Sawant is the writer of the story. And in this way, we came to know about the different glimpses of India, how the revolt started, and who were the main leader of this revolt. Thank you, students. Have a nice day.